No time to wallow in the mire. Hello. Ah, today I'm going to be talking about personal liberation and the power that it can give you. Starting off, personal liberation, a concept that has allowed me personally to feel fully free. Yep, you heard me, fully free. And enjoy my day to day life. If you know me, you know I'm Jim Morrison's number one fan. Yep, this is what I take from his music and his attitude toward life. Not really, like, but it's I'm going to be talking about Jim Morrison about on here because it's very important that I do. Personal liberation to me, personal liberation is the breaking down of the chains that strangle many people today. The chains can be viewed as one's strong beliefs, one's habitual routine, or most home hitting societal expectations. All these factors have a systematic goal, and that goal is the destruction of one's freedom. Personal liberation's main door is the reaching down into oneself in order to find the answers to the questions that we so desperately ask. Whether you're aware of it or not, the questions are being asked every day. Just have to see it. So, the key to the door of the answers to our questions lay dormant, ready to be answered by the following of one's own moral compass. Staying true to ourselves is a liberation that we all seek. At least that's the main road, and the questioning of the systematic factors I touched on are stops along the way to liberation. Now, that there is an earful. That is some good ass writing, if you ask me. No, I'm only joking. I just came up with all that there now. That's not even on a script. I was all off the top of my head. So, uh, so Jim Morrison and the Doors. Their music touches my soul upon each listen. Their music is one of my many catalysts that allow me to break down the systematic factors that plagued my life for far too long. They've got their first album is literally the greatest album I've ever listened to. Like, I'm not even joking. I was watching the LA Woman music video today, as I do every day, probably 10 times over. Not over after each other, but collectively. And there was a part in it where Jim Morrison was dancing with the youths out in wherever the fuck he was, probably. You know, you ever see them videos of like American highways and just like the bits on the side that are pure dusty and red? There was like a carpet laid out and he was just jiving and the wee Wayne was jiving with him. And I genuinely started crying because it was just beautiful. Their song Take It As It Comes is a simple yet beautiful demonstration of how we spend too much time worrying about the future and the past rather than the moment that we are all living in right now. Jim wrote the song after reaching an altered state through meditation. His reasoning for making the song was for us to embrace fate and to take it as it comes. Very powerful. This song is a branch on my tree of personal liberation, one of the many branches that make a tree so beautiful. The reason I'm speaking about Morrison is simply down to the fact that his outlook on life is one that I resonate with very deeply. I swear to God, I was watching I was like, not studying, but I was like researching for the video today and looked up Jim Morrison's philosophy. And literally everything he said is stuff that I've said to my friends, or stuff that I think to myself, or stuff I've said in these videos. And I'm not even joking. I literally was like, oh my god, am I Jim Morrison reincarnated? Holy fuck, what's going on here? Like, I couldn't believe it. I was just, obviously everyone's got similar fucking views, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I was mad. Like, um, a good quote of Jim Morrison's is, now listen to this and listen to it deeply because this is something that has to be touched on. Just listen. That's what real love amounts to. Letting a person be what he really is. Most people love you for who you pretend to be. To keep their love. Keep pretending and performing. You get to love your pretense. It's true. We're locked in an image, an act, and the sad thing is, people get so used to their image, they grow attached to their masks. They love their chains. They forget all about who they really are. If you try to remind them, they hate you for it. they feel like you're trying to steal their most precious possession. Go on, actually tell me you don't know about 18,000 people like that. I'm being serious. You literally probably thought of at least 3 people when I said that there now. When Jim Morrison said that. When I read that Jim Morrison quote, you thought of 3 people. That's a fucking unbelievable quote that captures just the lives of so many people just within one quote. Like, people hated Jim Morrison, and I wonder why. Well, it could have been the fact that he, some mad shit. 60s were a crazy place. We had Charles Manson, MK Ultra. 60s. I'd make a fucking leaf of video on the 60s. I love the 60s. So now to talk about the masks. So the masks we wear every day are facades. Ones to appeal to those who seek approval from. Who we seek approval from, sorry. Why do we seek approval in others when we should really be seeking approval in ourselves? Once you finally find and approve of yourself, come to find that personal liberation is upon the horizon. It doesn't seem so cloudy anymore, and the skies are clearing up. And to me, I only wanted the sky in my mind to be beautiful, brimming with sunlight, and as blue as the most azure ocean. We're all human, and we can all have a mind as clear as a sky so gorgeous. A sky as clear as Jim Morrison's, people. As wasn't that clear, he was fucking fried, like, but you can't. Double-ended sword. The masks we wear are as dangerous as a bullet to the face, and I mean that. As the masks are so comforting that we never want to take them off, we become attached to them, or rather, they become attached to us. That's frightening, because that's a mask that can really soak into your face, can just, like Alien, the mask that people wear, literally, or do you ever watch Alien, and the way they hug your fucking beak, and just inject you with shit? That's literally just what's happening with people and their masks that they fucking wear every day to appeal to everyone else. Them masks then just seep into your fucking being itself. Hold on. That's genuine. That's so scary. That's frightening. Because it's so destructive on our minds. You know what I mean? Like, once this mask has ingrained itself, it offers comfort. Comfort that's cradled by the approval of others in this said mask. The cradling from others then is another strap for that mask. Just to stay tightly on, just to wrap itself, coil around you. That mask is just coiled so fucking tightly around people's faces that they lose themselves. Personal liberation is further from us than the day we were born. The day we were born, we were instilled with a soul that's for us to mould and build around the being that we truly are, not the being that we think others want us to be. Sit with that. Sit with that. So, that was a script there. It was a fried one. I need to kind of just keep myself on the topic, because the topic, well, I mean, it is kind of on the topic. Like, the masks are a blocker of personal freedom. Like, you can't reach. Watch this Goro trying to fucking get me high. This I literally lost to this bot, and he can't even fucking hit me. He doesn't even try to fight. The masks are just everyone and their ma has a fucking mask on. Hey, like, and I sound like a whole Ireland low mad monk preacher. Look, get farted on, bro. But it's actually it's such a fucking fact. Like, and there's only not only a certain, but there's a lot of people out there who don't have masks on. And back to that Morrison quote, whenever you try and say to someone who's got a mask wrapped around their back, that, like, lad, only fuck here. Just be real to yourself, hey. Just stay true. They'll literally just be like, the fuck you on about that as me, lad. And that's the mask, it's just speaking. It's not the person speaking. You have to find yourself, hey. You can't just be what other people want you to be, because in that you're never ever gonna be who you want to be. Like, it's simple as that, hey. Really is. Like, I don't know, it feels like we're living in literally a simulation with the amount of fucking folks that you see around you each day doing this. Like, how do you How do you actually? How are you meant to have a good conversation anymore whenever the people you're speaking they aren't even fucking lemons? Like it's not actually them. You're just speaking the facades. You're speaking the. Oh my god. That's the point. Jim Morrison makes lethal music. The Doors are one of the greatest bands ever, and listening to their songs and actually reading on the Doors and what they're about and what Jim Morrison's about is so eye opening. It was to me anyway, and it just brings me great comfort knowing that there are folks out there, and like, that's more on I was looking it up. There's like a philosophy, existentialism. I've heard of it. Like I haven't really. I'm not the fucking. I'm not Socrates. Like you know what I mean. I'm just a fella, but I'm just trying to learn. I just want to see all the views of the world in the sense of thinking, and I think that thinking is just gone. Thinking is just not a thing anymore because how you meant to think for yourself whenever you're thinking for other people? Oh, lad, Bo Raichu. Hey, I got some nutty footage of Bo Raichu. I was playing Mortal Kombat and I was using Jason and it was annoying the fuck out of me because I mind me and my mate in like November time we were fucking playing Mortal Kombat flat out and I actually got pretty good with Jason. The grabbing Jason, and then I was using him, and I was like, "Oh my god, lad, get these grabs away from me! It just feels like you've got two combos." And then I was all, "Get me on the drunken master, Bo Raichu." Jumped on there and just started queefing and fucking vomiting on everyone. Hey, uh, thanks for listening.